Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video. And in today's video is day 5 of the grandest party of them all, season 34. And yes, it is the sad times for your boy. Yesterday, look, we took an L. We took a big L, and first of all, I would like to apologize to the Sword Trio. They are not as bad as what I made them out to be, but look, once you're about, I don't know, 15 beers deep, and it's getting towards the back end of the day, and you're rushing through your grand party fights, get a little bit confident, a little bit emotional with some personal stuff going on too. I definitely goofed up. Should have just taken the Dugon on and just gone from there. But, look, we're rounding it out. We're moving forward. We're moving on. At the end of the day, like, look, getting the, the 15 wins, you get the extra 20 gems. It's nice. The title is kind of like, whatever. Bounty, look, it's a lot of bounty we're missing out on. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. If we went in with Wipe It and Ace, you know we would have rocked socks. You know if we took the easy way out, it would have been fine. But we always like going in for the content. And so today, we're rounding it out with our boys, Wipe It and Ace. And for this one, I actually 150 Wipe It and Ace. I thought, screw it. Like, let's put some redemption back on our name and sort of showcase how powerful this character is. But let me know in the comment section below who you guys have been using for this particular season. If you guys got the 15 wins, let me know down below as well. While you're down there, like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. With that said, let's dive in. All right, let's get some redemption against good old Gear 5 6+. I haven't lost, honestly, Grand Party in, the longest time. I could not tell you the last time I didn't get the 15 wins on Grand Party. Probably like since like season 7 or something crazy. But hey, like I said, just shit happens when you party naked, so we move forward. This one is looking like, is this just like autofill teams? It's looking free spirit centric, but like, if you're doing autofill teams, why are you using Gear 5 6+? Okay. Alright, we'll rock it. But yeah, like I said, I do want to apologize to the sword unit. I used them completely incorrectly. Like I said, I was rushing through the fights, and that's why there was no audio as well, because like I just had to get it done before the timer was over. Hence the skipping the last fight as well. I had to sort of just skip through pretty damn quick because the season was literally about to end in like the next 10 minutes. So, also the day for the season. So, a bit of a shame there. But we're going in with Wipe It and Ace. Look, I feel very confident with Wipe It and Ace. I don't think we need to see this. Like, you guys know how much shooters rock worlds. I did a test video with Wipe It and Ace already, and like they're phenomenal this season. Them and probably obviously like Saturn's probably the big ones, but Saturn's a bit weird because you want to run strikers. The sword unit does have a lot of potential because obviously you can just use their burst on turn 1 and then like in the first second, get 100% cooldown to one of your characters and then just bink from there. When you're running stuff like Strength or you're running like characters like S-Hawk, you can do some pretty funky stuff there. But other than that, like there's really not that much going. I did use Verse Kid. He was a lot of fun. I did do it honestly like no leader buff from the rule set. But I think if you have Wipe It and Ace at your disposal, like you definitely want to use them because like they're freaking powerful, man. They're powerful units. You get a minus 40% reduction to how you charge your burst, and then you get a extra burst under your belt. So if you start losing characters, you go up against like crazy bad RNG, you have the burst in your back pocket, and you're not exactly using it to win fights. It's just the way I like to play. I like to use the burst as a sort of like either like a win button after like I've sacrificed a team, or like a holy shit, get me out of jail free card. Here it is right here. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. So the driven team that I have for this particular setup looks a little bit different to my other normal driven powerhouse teams. I am running S-Hawk in the front here and Wipe It and Ace on the bench. Wipe It and Ace can provide some pretty good damage, but look, I think with Pika buffing driven characters, having the ability to just sort of bink 3 units with S-Hawk just does seem like a little bit more of a play. So Gato and King there going absolutely ballistic, tearing through the front lines there. Garp can hit pretty hard, but at this point, like, we've done so much nerfing that the enemy just can't really do too much to us. So, very, very nice stuff. First win in the bag, getting some redemption for our name onto Gear 5. Big thing about this season too is that they like heavily buff and boost strikers, and like the striker team right now, it sucks so much. Once we get the new Super Sugos from RRG Part 2 and Shiki, Big Mom, and Wipe It, that might change. But right now, man, like strikers, I just don't like using them. They seem real clunky, slow, low damage. So it's what it is. But first win in the bag. All right, look, I'm just on a Gear 5 6+ hate spree right now. So we're gonna take on the Gear 5 6+ once again. We obviously have Sanji there. This could backfire like it did yesterday, and we could just lose. Look, losing the 5v5 though was kind of rough, man. Like that was tough to watch, and then obviously losing at the end there with the Gear 5 burst, like it was tough viewings for that grand party fight. But like I said, we're going on the Gear 5 6+ haste killing spree. So let's dive back in, and the thing with Gear 5 6+ is that if you don't give them the opportunity to like do damage, then realistically the burst isn't that scary. However, if you lose like the second fight and then all of a sudden they built up a burst, 2 bursts for the back end of the third fight, it can be a little bit detrimental. And then obviously running side with Garp in the front is always a really good play for the side Gear 5 6+, because you can always rely on his death shot to just output a little bit of damage, even if you just get absolutely romped in that sort of first fight. So you can still make him work, but I do think out of the Gear 5s, maybe Quick Gear 5, the verse unit, he might be a little bit worse. I'd probably say that he is, but just because like Quick is really bad right now, so I can at least do some stuff. But then again, like trying to find a spot for 6+ Gear 5 is pretty challenging too. So the thing about Whitebeard and Ace is like you can easily just throw them onto the powerhouse team, and you can make some pretty good moves there. So as you can see, we basically just tore through the front line up here. Very nice stuff. The Garp death shot did seem a little bit problematic. This should probably get the burst ready to go now, because we're not going to get the... Alright, that's annoying. Yeah, the enemy's probably going to get that burst at the start of the next fight. But even still, if that just kills like all of our units, then it's just going to give us our burst, which we then can throw back at them and just do some terrifying things. Driven Powerhouse with Big Mom Katakuri on the front lines is just a pure counter to taking on anything too scary that has these crazy death shots, because they have the revive, which just then allows you to get the super special off, get the Wipe It and Ace burst ability off, and from there it's just it's pretty much curtain. So Slasher team with Nami. I don't know how I feel about that. Have you got the straw hats? 1, 2, 3. You don't have 4 straw hats. Well, I mean, wonky ass builds with these Gear 5 6+. Why couldn't we fight this stuff yesterday? Bro, if we fought this stuff, like this would have been cakewalk. But no, we came up against a driven team. Scary. But our driven team shouldn't have any issues here. I don't really see a world where this is a problem. Driven's just like low key, just become like super goddamn powerful. It's kind of powerhouse and driven, but like with Pikqchu, man, like, and I'm glad Pikqchu was on that pirate PvP assault rumble banner, because a lot of people did pull Pikqchu, and now they realize how good that unit actually is. So fun stuff there. All right, we're gonna have to do some rollback here. Ooh, that fixed damage. Eesh. Here comes the big boy. Let's see what level your Gear 5 6+ is, lad. Are we dealing with a 150 here? Oh, I think we are. 12k is a lot. Pikqchu just got absolutely mollywopped. As you can see, though, bringing a powerhouse unit in is definitely not the end of the world, because we are getting the powerhouse buffs. S-Hawk is susceptible to this shot, though. Okay, he's not the strongest unit. Well, it's not classified as the strongest unit, so that's always fun. Like I said, as soon as we get our burst off, it's over. That's even if it happens, to be honest. We don't have any slashes. Oh, no, S-Hawk might die here. Oh, no, he's fine. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh! Alright, is he gonna get some kills? Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. Wiping an ace with the auto proc, and then basically it's over now. This is just a this burst is just a win button. Like, it's just a straight up win button. 90% HP cut, half stats into damage. Just see you later, guys. See you next time. Bye bye. Very nice. So as you can see, like we could have easily got the 15 wins. Don't want to sort of like gallivant my own horn, but like sometimes testing does backfire. All right, look, I would have tried to do something fun for the last fight, but these are all autofill teams, which you love to see, honestly, going for your last win, whether it be the 14th or the 15th or whatever it is. Look, let's take on Alba, because, like, well, why not? But at the same time, like, I already lost the 15, so, like, I would have just I would have done some fun shit. Like if we found a Saturn or if we found like a Wipedace Ditto, I probably would have gone up against it. So this is, like I said, this is all going to be autofill teams, which means that basically it's free wins. Like, so I'm just gonna skip through these. There's no point sort of sitting through these like autofill fights. They're not entertaining. They're not fun to watch. At least with the change leader, like the teams are still like somewhat fun to like watch the fights play out. But I think like I said, we're in an era right now with One Piece Treasure Cruise where it's all about practicality and speed. So at that point, like it is what it is. So that's gonna wrap up the video. Look, we managed to get the 14 wins. Love to see it. Fortunately, we didn't get the 15 wins for like the first time ever, but at the same time, look, when we're trying out a whole bunch of different characters, then it does sometimes swing that way, unfortunately. But hopefully in the future, it's not going to be a recurring thing. We might sort of change it up and like really focus on the fact that we are using like the better characters on the last 2 days rather than sort of trying some new shit when we're intoxicated. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, but like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.